as auto-flating themselves as to how awesome they were, and and sniffing their own farts because they're just so amazing and so clever and so cerebral with their writing. It's just like, just please fuck off. Turn around, find the nearest doorknob, and choke yourself to death. I've no interest. Like, do the world a favor and leave the gene pool before you contaminate it. Maybe I'm just being a bit. I've had a hard week. It's been a harsh week. I've been dealing with morons.
Okay, so I just want to check really quick that this is visible.
I mean, I can see it.
Go here. Yeah, I'm just going to check in YouTube itself. So if I go here, yeah. It's showing no personal information going on. I think everything's good.
Why is your social security number
exactly one person watching, which is me. Woo! Wildly popular.
Let's see if we can find it in the meme drawer.
Anyway, I'm going to have to disagree with you and say that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, while sometimes not my taste, is pretty hilarious on the whole.
It's okay. We live in the free world. I support your right to be wrong.
Delusional. Okay, anyway. So, you know what? I don't know if I should play that video now or wait and play it later. What do you think?
Which video?
The one that I was going to play at the beginning. I had queued up when you joined.
Yeah, play it.
All right. But we might have viewers later. All right. Well, anyway, let me see if I can get this going.
I might need to get a pet possum.
What's that?
I might need a pet possum.
You can't see this, right?
All I can see is the based and normie.
Sweet. Okay, but now you can see the...
I can see a video of the little cook guy that got his girlfriend turned into an OnlyFans star, and he just sat in the corner jerking off while she played blokes. Allegedly.
Yeah. I gotta mean this up, I think. I think I'm gonna split this up into pieces and just put part of a Biden speech or whatever. Biden mumble.
Now that's what we should cut it into. We should auto tune it into all those Missy Elliott gibberish songs from the early 2000s.
But wait. But then we play this because just watch.
You think they're gonna say, "Oh my God, you're such a legend. You make me so wet with your reckless spending. You've gained my respect and you're oh so funny. Please take me to your mention and vote me." You're fucking delusional. So try your best to remember. You are not a pimp. You're a borderline sex offender.
I mean,
it wasn't written about him, but it's just a perfect fit.
Dude, that's his campaign speech for 24.
Right?
Yes.
We got to get this to Trump.
Yes. The great Cheeto must see this.
What's that?
Also, the great Cheeto must see it.
Yeah. This really makes me sad. iTubs used to be very funny.
Yeah, well, I guess you kind of lose your sense of humor when you get cut by your gold-digging missus.
Tens of thousands of basement-dwelling man babies. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's probably still trying to scrape. He's got like a squeegee scraping the spooge off his face.
Yeah. His whole excuse was, all these men are basically, watching her do stuff, but they're not actually doing stuff. I'm the only one that gets to do stuff. It's like, oh man, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I
a lot
mean-
of coke, bro.
Try not to do too much copium off the arse cheek of your missus while she's getting smashed by other men.
Indeed. Okay, let's go back to here.
I gotta try and find those GT memes that I sent out. I have no idea where they are. No idea where they are.
Let's start arranging the 140 whatever we've got here. Okay, so first one. I'm officially, they don't make music like this no more, years old. This is normie as shit.
Yes, that wasn't one I was supposed, but that was sent to me by a co-worker relative to a conversation, which was like, how do you know when you're old? And the answer was quite simple: when you are in a store of any kind and they play your jam over the PA system. So if you're walking around Walmart and you like what's being played, you're old as shit immediately. No questions asked. Proceed to the beige pants section.
Wait, is that true? Because they only play shit in every store I go into, and it seems to be like,
Dude,
Top
one of these
40
days you will be
stuff.
you will be in a shopping center
and you will hear the Foo Fighters faintly in the distance playing through the PA system. You'll be like, oh shit.
okay, James. This very basic bitch boomer meme. Where should it go? C
That's a fat
B.
F. That's a fat F.
Fat F?
Yeah.
And I
That's-
disagree. I think it's like middle of the road. Let's go E.
E? Okay.
Yeah, we'll compromise more toward you. All right, the new one. They should announce a sequel to Groundhog Day and then just re-release the original.
I think that's fucking that's genius trolling personally. And I'd go and watch it as well.
What's that?
I said I think that's genius trolling and I'd go and watch it.
Yeah, especially now that that Murray's getting Me Too'd. What a bunch of bullshit. Have you seen the
Use Excuse
claims?
the passing train.
Like- Like, what's the little guy's name? Green?
Hmm?
The little guy from Robot Chicken.
oh no, what
Seth Green? Seth?
Yeah,
Is that
Seth
right?
Green. That's him.
Yeah, he's like, when I was a kid, Bill Murray put me upside down in a garbage can. Where?
Well,
It's like,
yeah, like
Yeah,
stop being a
that's-
bitch then.
yeah, and then a bunch of women were like, now that he's old, I don't like his advances. It's like,
Well,
man.
these are the thoughts that they take you. You know, they marry your ass, and then when you're in your 50s and your balls are down by your knees, suddenly they go off with the gardener, and it's your fault somehow.
Yeah. Okay, so the groundhog troll meme. Where do you put it? I'm inclined to put it somewhere around CD.
Yeah,
But you seem to think that it would be hilarious as a
Well,
prank.
I think it would be a genius as a piece of marketing. It would be hilarious. So I would say,
Squarely
but-
in C.
yeah, okay.
Okay, let's see. I'll kit up and go back right now. Heavy breathing over pork chop. Okay, yeah,
I mean
That's one
that's very subjective because if you've ever served in the military, you are either that guy or you know that guy.
oh, dude, like I have friends like this IRL right now, who
Oh, I'd go to Ukraine
Text-
tomorrow, man. But you know, my
They-
back. Oh, okay.
they text only in Signal, right? They're like, and in Signal they constantly bitch and tell me like, oh no, dude, we like Signal's pretty good, but you really gotta get a ham radio. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Let me give up this thing that I can maybe mask with a VPN and instead give the drone an exact targeting lock on where I'm transmitting from. That'll be fine.
Yeah, like I have Actually, I think my ham radio license has expired. But I had a ham radio license, so I could renew it pretty easy. But like, I'm not gonna buy one.
No.
Like, I may as well just invite the feds over for dinner. Okay. Anyway, what do you think? A, B?
Yeah,
It's a C. It's subjective, isn't it? It's not universal.
Really? I mean, it made me laugh. I mean,
Okay.
do a B then. I was being, I was being nice.
Do a B.
I mean, it's definitely better than Groundhog fucking Day.
Which is a great movie. Don't drive angry. Oh, you're not bad for a quadruped.
All right, here we go. You want to read this one?
I can't see it. Screen's too small.
You can't see it?
I can. There we go. Well, if you keep it the damn thing still.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus, I need to put my glasses on. Let me go zoom into this bitch. There we go. This school book. This school book is about arithmetic. It does not contain any instructions on how to have good anal sex. Liberals, boiling head. Oh, hello, thank you. Very kind this one.
I think this is an A level.
Yes, that is. That is.
If someone handed this in as a project, I would be like, A.
Are you sure you don't want the ice? I mean, I'll take the ice.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Oh, okay.
You're good. I will shank you with a spoon.
Also based, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also, I think FUD memes are based memes. I mean, it's like in the middle.
Yeah, so like, I'm this year's old thing. Move that to the right. In fact, stick that on the F side on the right hand side, and then move. Like, yeah, split the line if you need to, but if they're shit, just put them on the right.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No, not that one. You think that's a line split?
You think that's a base? Okay.
Bottom right.
strictly based.
No, it's closer to the. I see what you're saying. Yeah, put it near the line. Yeah.
Yeah, potato and FUD memes are right in the middle. Yeah, there we go. That's what we should do. We should make this kind of a spectrum on both axes.
Well, hang on, don't we
Yeah,
invite
these-
the alphabet?
these are
lobby?
extremely
Talking about
noisy.
spectrums.
Yeah, if it's on the spectrum, it's automatically based. Okay. Okay, we're being hailed, Captain. I've tried translating the language, but it sounds like mindless gibberish. And then
See,
it's,
What
this
would
is
be
what-
better?
but
You
it's
know,
hilarious.
you know what would make that meme so much better is if the bottom part was almost exactly the same, except it was the hollow bridge from Red Dwarf with Biden's floating head, so it looks like Holly.
Yeah, except the problem is that nobody has watched Red Dwarf outside of, some small balmy island off the coast of Europe.
I don't know. I know. Like, you know what Red Dwarf is?
I know what it is, but I tried watching it and was like, the fuck?
That's because you don't appreciate the genius that is Chris Barry.
That is an accurate statement.
I mean, it's not my fault you're a heathen. I've tried to educate you for many years at this point, and you're just completely resistant to it.
Okay, your turn.
Holy fuck! Me and the boys trying to get James Madison's flute back, and it's a bunch of dudes in a whaling boat with Lizzo porpoising out of the water. That's fucking brilliant. Yes, that definitely belongs to the top left.
Yeah, I saw that one and I was like, I want to send it to James, but I'd rather he sees it cold.
Well, once we're done with this, you need to send it to me so that I can send it on to other people. Because inquiry lines need to. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, this one's pretty funny, but it's kind of niche. It says, "Oh wait, no, this isn't the one I thought it was. Actually, what the heck is this one?" But it says
I'm
in
sorry, Mr.
quotations,
Zuckerberg can't take your call right now. He's in a meeting with his fact checkers. Insert footage from. Well, no,
I mean, is this even a meme? It's just,
it just looks like a screen grab of actual footage.
yeah, it's just a fact.
Allegedly.
Where
If
would you put
Facebook
it?
legal team is listening, allegedly.
I mean, it's definitely based.
But then again, Facebook's near enough obsolete and dead, so memes relating to Facebook pretty much in the middle ground.
I don't know. The boomers are there. I'm gonna put it here, but which tier?
I want MySpace back.
C at the most.
C at the
Maybe
most.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I mean, just check this out. Like, this is a good Photoshop. So, you know,
I mean, yeah. If he's got
I gotta give it your highest because I would say B. If someone handed that in as a, you know, coursework or something, I'd be like, you know, like you have promise. You have
you
promise.
say that, but there's probably some quote unquote university somewhere that will offer you a course in memes.
Oh, there is. Like I've actually seen that somewhere. Okay, here we go. I love this one. Will it stop me getting it? No. Will it stop me passing it on? No. So what will it do? At best, nothing. At worst, it'll kill you. I'll take 5.
Pretty much.
Pretty accurate. We don't know what. I mean, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Normally.
It's funny because repetition or something. You hear that, YouTube? Like my nuts. Okay. Maybe D. C,
yeah.
D. It's pretty like bog standard. What's your opinion? Where would you put it?
Well, I mean, the commander-in-chief already declared it over, so it's kind of irrelevant now, isn't it?
Dude,
so I would have put it higher than a D.
Did you see today or yesterday he renewed the COVID emergency, the COVID state of emergency?
Well, he's got to in order to institute the honkening for the
Yeah,
beginning
but
of
it's
the
like-
month.
It's like he literally said on the record that it's over. Now you're like, nah. There's an election, you know, a very fair, very legit election, just
Okay.
like the last one, YouTube.
While that is funny, that goes next to the
Yes.
one about music. Yeah.
All right. Yes. For those listeners who are just listening because they love the channel.
The
Sleep
sound
is
of my
just a
dulcet
time
voice
machine.
calling in your ears.
Sleep is just a time machine to breakfast, my dudes.
I mean, yes.
It's an enjoyable meme. That's like solid. That's solid. That's a solid C or B. I'm okay with either. We'll go C. Wait. Okay. Looks like we both shared this one.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go.
G4 TV.
Say, get your good job on your plate.
Yeah, I'd rather.
Yeah. So, oh, I also, I don't know if you know Camelot.
Say good job on your plate.
Hi there. I can hear you whispering.
So the spawn doesn't realise what a stream is, so she just marches it and shows me a phone.
My bad. I'll let you two play Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped watching magazine shows about video games when I can't remember what he called now. He was called Games Master, I think. Back in the day when they used to do info bursts at the end of programs that you were supposed to like record on VHS and then play back on frame by frame, you could read shit. Like that's when that type of show went out of relevance. You know, the invention of the internet.
Yeah.
So just spicing it up with some angry bull dyke in a crop top. No thanks.
Well, yeah, and then they don't cover anything interesting, and they're like, how can we be interesting? And then apparently they turn to like 15-year-old girls for advice, and they're like, oh yeah, we should try to be as edgy as possible, while not doing anything edgy. So
what
yeah.
makes me laugh is I'm genuinely terrible at this job that I've just been gifted because of my immutable characteristics. So any form of criticism that I receive for being genuinely shit at my job is somehow hate speech, and you're just haters and you're the problem. I'm awesome.
Well, yeah, and if you're bad at your job, what you do is you just make the job your identity. Cover yourself with like video game tattoos and try to look like an 80s teenage boy.
Because when the tattoo of Princess Peach on her left tit looks like the girl from The Ring 30 years from now, she can be really glad she got that done.
Yeah. But the funniest part of this, like screenshot, in my personal opinion, is that discount Chris Pratt, I think, actually accurately describes Camelot.
I have no idea who that is.
I'm pretty sure this is the Camelot from Recatus.
Oh, okay.
Chat. I think he's a race car driver.
A while because he's been yeeted, hasn't he?
He's a race car driver. This is not a meme. However, it's somewhat funny. It's presented in meme format. I'm gonna put it in the based E
midline.
tier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not F. Like, it is
Well, at least
accurate.
move it towards the midline.
More towards the midline.
No,
All
the
right.
middle, the line in the middle of the. Oh my god, the divider between based and normie.
And YouTube, like, I'm not just clustering all the homosexual-looking people right here. That's coincidence. All right.
Dear Plexiglass, thank you for protecting me from the cashier who just touched every single item I'll be taking home with me. This period of history will be known as the dumbass ages.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That is absolutely accurate. I'm calling this one a normie meme.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't take cash in this facility. It's card and contactless only. COVID. So why aren't you wearing a hazmat suit while you're coughing all over my hot dog, asshole?
Oh man. Yeah, I was at Walmart on my way home tonight, and like this old lady needed help putting a big case of water in her cart, so I helped her. And then she like kept talking and talking and talking and talking, and then at the end she asked my name, and like I extended my hand to shake her hand, and she was like, "Germs," and then did fist bump. And I was like,
I just flat refuse. I flat fucking refuse. If you offer me a fist bump, I'm going to look at it like it's your dick. Like
Yeah.
you've just stuck your cock at me. Like, what are you doing with that?
I'm exactly the same way, but it's like, she's 80 years old, so like, I couldn't, be rude, but it was, yeah,
Well, so
It's so
fist bumping 80-year-olds is okay now.
right?
Like, if you're genuine, like, trying to explain to these idiots, like, your bullshit mask is puppetry and theater. Why are you doing this? Like,
Well, yeah, and here's the other thing. Fist bumping. Fist bumping is so cool that the geriatrics are doing it. Just so you know,
Yeah.
guys. When you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to do a high five. Okay, high fives are way superior, by the way. One of the few things that Dick Masterson is completely right about. But, yeah. You're so cool. You're just like, an 80-year-old grandma.
yes. Buttholes.
Anyway. All right, your turn.
So proud of our 6-year-old son. He's come out as a pirate. We've known since he was 2 months old. Children's Hospital agreed to pop out an eye for his patch, slice off his hand for his hook, and saw off one of his legs for his peg leg. His pronouns are P and irate. Are we arg so proud? Hashtag his choice. Yeah. I mean, I
It
want to
is-
call it super based, but then again, it would just go sailing over their heads because they don't get it.
It's literally, I found this on Facebook, circling through the normie crowds. So I'm gonna put it like right here.
Yeah.
It's a based concept, but based is like spreading to the normies.
Oh, well. Oh, crap. I think I just killed my mic. There we go.
All right, I'll take this one.
What is it? Stacey Swallows.
Yes. Clearly born for the job.
Oh
Congratulations.
my fucking god.
Her name is Stacey Swallows, and she's a manager at Siemens.
Bitch needs to get fucking married quick. As long as she marries Mr. Cox, it's fine.
Okay, this is also pretty normie in the middle. B.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a meme, but it's funny. All right. Here we go. It's a little on point.
Lovely.
This is so accurate, though.
Well, because the latter one gets rid of the former, doesn't it?
Yeah, on Facebook, it's totally true. And then, I haven't been on Twitter for years, but apparently Twitter is even worse.
Oh, did you
They're all
see that?
just like, we need to go to war right now with Russia. And it's like, why?
Well, it's the royal we, isn't it? It's not any of those pricks typing that want to fucking pick up a rifle and go and play with thermobaric fucking weapon systems. Yeah, it's not those people that are willing to get into a near peer conflict and be the ground pounders. By the royal we, they mean your 18-year-old son and her 22-year-old daughter. Those are the people that they want to send to the fucking front lines. They don't want to do anything. They just want to. It's the same as these fucktards that think that like massive taxation because the government gives money to poor people. Like, it's just lazy altruism. Like, you want to feel good about yourself without doing fuck all, but you're quite happy to fill hundreds of body bags of your own countrymen just because you want to feel like you're doing something because the telly box told you that angry Russian man that rides bears is a bad person.
Yeah, it's like Elon Musk going out there and saying, I'd be willing to help to negotiate, to facilitate a negotiation between Russia and Ukraine. And then all the leftists on Twitter are like, oh, fuck you, you Putin cocksucking bastard, blah, 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 right? And then he's like, I literally gave Ukraine free Starlink.
Yeah, when the ambassador told him to fuck off, so he went, okay, I fucked off and I've taken my free Starlink with me. Bye.
Yeah, the entitlement, the self-entitlement of these fucking pathetic
Well,
losers.
You got to think as well is that Ukraine don't want an end to this. I would not surprise me if, you know, I mean, like, much like with the Live Aid and Band Aid crap in the 80s, where like 90% of the money ended up in the hands of the warlords in Central Africa that then went on to fuel the genocides and the civil war.
That's what's happening in
Ukraine. Yeah, it wouldn't. You know, bearing in mind, you know, you've had Biden's son sat on the gas board, on the board of directors of a gas company, and then you've got, you know, was it Romney? And,
one sec. The opinions of my guests on my channel are not necessarily the opinions that I hold, and for the purposes of YouTube's terms and service, they're possibly any one of them can be satirical at any moment. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, you've got, you know, you've got Romney's, Pelosi's, relatives of all these fuckbags that these swamp lizards that have lived in
Eye Patch McCain
for the last 40 years, and they've got family members or relatives tied into these companies. I don't think any rational person is not entertaining the possibility that, you know, the vast majority of the money that's being funneled into the world's laundry room is getting washed and backhanded, you know, 10% for the big guy. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. You know, the average fucking Ukrainian is you know, or the average moron that they've managed to convince from the West to go on a shooting vacation in the country of Ukraine. They're fighting with garbage. You know, you see these fascist fucking Nazi Azov battalions wandering around with some nice shiny kit, but the actual poor muppets that from what I've heard from people that have gone out there is that it's not too dissimilar to the start of Enemy at the Gate. Here's a crappy old AK that barely works. There's a mag for you and a mag for him. Off you go. You know, like that kind of, yeah, well, when he drops it, you pick it up. That sort of mentality. And they're taking any old dross and sticking them in these foreign battalions. And, you know, you might actually have professional soldiers that have gone out there and done that. But you're going to have a lot of, like...
And, like, I think Styx is correct about that. Like, I think that they're doing that, like, intentionally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that... Like, I don't know. I think that Russia's in a much stronger position than they seem to be in. And I think they're trying to kind of lure the Ukrainian troops into occupied areas, if you know what I mean. And then surprise.
I don't think it's going to go that far, because the parity of the Cold War that was, you know, mutually assured destruction isn't there anymore. So you can
I definitely disagree with that. Like, I definitely think that
you think that the Russians have the capability to launch their entire nuclear arsenal.
I definitely do. Yeah.
Do you know what the Kursk was?
What's that?
Do you know what the Kursk was?
I'm not catching what you're saying.
Do you know what Kursk was?
No.
So it was one of the Russians' premier attack subs, and it ended up exploding, and it's on the bottom of some trench in the Atlantic.
Sure, I'm not saying that they'd be super successful.
No, what I mean is that I don't believe that the Russians have the capacity to deliver their arsenal. So the concept
of nuclear, like,
one of
they don't need to deliver it everywhere, right? They just need to make.
Well, no, the whole point is the nuclear stalemate is because you have mutually assured destruction. We don't press our button because they'll respond and they'll press their button, and then there'll be nothing left but a glass parking lot. Well, you can only glass 170 cities.
Yeah, but I don't think that was ever actually a possibility. Like, I think that
So my point, the point I'm getting
nuclear
at
fallout
is,
argument is way overblown.
well, if you think about it, like the technically North Korea is supposedly a nuclear state.
Yeah, but they
It doesn't
actually
have
do have limit. Like,
it can't launch
yeah,
nukes anywhere. It can't deliver them. So is it really a nuclear state? Because the only place it can set its nukes off are its own fucking back garden.
yeah,
So or its own
that's
fucking kitchen.
that's true. But we don't send, you know, astronauts to North Korea, right? Like, Russia's way more advanced, and it doesn't,
Yeah,
like,
but there's
again,
a difference
they
between a
don't
Soyuz
actually have to
capsule and a
send,
nuclear warhead.
they don't need to send them to the U.S., right?
I don't think the point I'm making is it's mutually assured destruction. It's not. Sorry, no, it's not mutually assured destruction. It's assured destruction. If you are not the nuclear dominant state, or you are not in a state of parity with another with a superpower.
Well, but
then-
here's the thing. Okay, here's my position on that. I don't think it was ever mutually assured destruction in, like, if I launch my nukes, you're going to launch yours, and then we're just going to get blown off the map. I think the argument used to be that if we set off 100 nuclear bombs, right, then we're going to have a nuclear winter, which, again, I don't think was ever a possibility. Like, I think we set off way more nuclear bombs than we say we did when we were testing them, and they were a lot dirtier.
Yeah, but
So,
then
like,
we're
yeah,
also
they'll do way more damage now, but we'll also take way more of them out en route.
the
But
ordinance.
hold on. But the mutually assured destruction that I think actually exists is COVID 2.0. So basically, imagine if there's some nuclear fallout in the wind, right?
What do you mean? Has this died? Are you still there? Oh, I think he's gone. Have you pressed the mute key by mistake? Or has my internet shit the bed? Well, the stream still seems to be live, but I don't see. Okay.
All right, can you hear me now? You're muted.
There we go. I can hear you now.
All right. Okay, I can hear you.
Like
Again.
a bloody Verizon commercial.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the we got algorithmed. I'm just
From
kidding.
YouTube.
No, I'm just
Ooh.
kidding. Because the YouTube stream's still going. It's just like confused about what the hell's going on. So it's got the little, circle chasing its tail.
Gotcha.
All right, let's get back to reality. Snap, there goes gravity. All right. But anyway, I don't know if a virus with controversially small mortality rate can ostensibly justify all the shit that they did, then nuclear fallout. Imagine what they'll pull.
What do you think H1N1 was for?
No, dude, like
That's
I'm not like it. More people died from H1N1 in
Yeah, but it's-
2009.
Yeah, but the point is, it's a test run to see how people reacted, and it wouldn't have gone over 20 years ago. And then they're like, "Oh no, look, they're sheeple enough now. We can do it. It's fine."
I mean, like, again, look at Canada. Fuck.
I'll tell you something. Within the next 3 years, Trudeau will have people in camps.
Just like the Australians did.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But as far as the mutually assured destruction thing, I think we're there.
Well, the thing is, the degradation. I don't think 20 years is long enough for the Russians to unfuck and repair all of the problems caused by the collapse of the Soviet Union, which is what led to stuff like the sinking of the Kursk. Nothing was maintained, everything was stripped away, budgets were pulled apart, rescue equipment was sold off, the spares were sold off, nothing worked. And I think that's a large proportion of what's gone on with the nuclear arsenal. They may very well have 1,700 warheads, but they don't have the capacity to deliver them. But their opponents do. So you don't have mutually assured destruction. You have mutually assured suicide and a bloody nose for your opponent.
I mean, sure. I'm not, contradicting that, but I do definitely think that the U.S. position at the moment is not anywhere near what people keep saying it is.
I would say we are in more danger of Sniffy Joe having an ice cream moment and fucking around with the football than we are.
I mean, think about this though. I mean, people keep pointing this out, and it's actually a good point. I don't know, not Ben Shapiro, but I think Michael Knowles keeps pointing it out, but lots of different people keep pointing out. We went into a whole bunch of Middle Eastern countries, and we accomplished fuck all with the most powerful military in the world. Blah blah blah. Right? It's like I think people overblow it. I think people are like, oh, the U.S. fighting anyone is basically like Israel fighting Palestine, right? But in reality, Palestine they just suck. You know what I mean?
Look at the Afghans, right? They're a great example. Fucked off the British Empire twice. Fucked off the Russians, and then fucked off the US. Not just the US, a US-led coalition. So it's not like they don't have a lot of experience dealing with this shit, Yeah. There's quite fucking clearly,
at the end of the day, though,
because you're a superpower doesn't mean to say you're going to win, because they've got the formula of which is why asymmetric warfare is so effective, and that countering it with with conventional tactics doesn't work.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, why do all these leftists care so much about Ukraine? Relative to how much they cared about like Afghanistan or
Where's the
Iraq
meme?
or
Where's the meme where
Syria.
they're just inserting the different chip into the brain of the little grey antenna-headed robot?
Yeah, I
Well,
guess that's true. Like you don't hear them talking about Assad anymore.
No. No.
It's like, yeah, like
I mean, you've even gone full circle, haven't you? You've got like, Hodge this and Hodge that, and Tailhead this and Tailhead that, and now the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and
Well,
Billy Bob and his web toes are singing the praises of Matt Mood because they're both in the school meeting telling the teachers, "Don't fucking teach my kids about transgenders."
well, and do you know the ostensible reason for why they hate Assad so much?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, okay, so like the original source of this animosity towards Assad is okay, so Assad is, I believe, Shia. I might have it backwards. But anyway, I'm pretty sure he's Shia, and he's running the government in a way that's what do you call it? What's the word?
Haram.
Well, yeah, to them it is. But we call it oh my god, non-religious. What's the word?
Secular.
Secular. God, yeah. It's late. I'm very tired. I
get it. No. I'm tracking.
But anyway, so he's running a secular government. So I believe the Sunnis were protesting, quote unquote, BLM style, mostly peaceful protesting.
Throwing a massive tantrum.
Yeah, in the capital city, and I guess they started starting fires and doing bad things, and so he sent the military in to disperse them, and a few of them got killed. Like it wasn't even that many, but it was enough, and they got the video footage that they needed, and then that's it. But these same motherfuckers now are saying openly that they should have done that at the January 6th thing. And it's like it's so much tamer than what happened there, and you're like,
yeah, like Nana walking through the Capitol building waving a flag. That's terrifying. It's right up there with 9/11.
well, yeah, but they didn't even start fires, right? Like,
yeah,
like they broke windows, but like these protesters were.
Do you not remember when the Democrats led that?
They were also starting fires.
Do you not remember when the Democrats led that pack of fucking liberal hyenas into the House under the previous administration? They were more fucking unruly. They were more disruptive.
Oh yeah, I know. Have you seen those pictures, dude? That should be in this meme review. Have you seen those pictures where it says like, can you believe what happened on January 6th? And it's like an aerial picture of the Capitol with like all the fires and stuff, and then it's like, just kidding. This was the BLM protest 2 years before. Yeah. It's like in the Capitol. Yeah, and they also broke into the house.
What makes me laugh is they think that busting a few fucking windows and waving a flag and trying to steal the speaker's podium, that was an insurrection. It's like you realize there's like 340 million firearms in private ownership. Like,
that's the other thing. I keep saying that exact thing. I keep just responding to anybody that says that. I'm like, people who are committing an insurrection do not leave their guns at home. Like,
no, you would still be patching the crater holes in the side. It would look like the Capitol building would look like the fucking Reichstag if that was an insurrection. Yeah. But
I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, the number of people who were there, if they did want to do it, if even a quarter of them were
just
armed.
on weight and numbers, you're going to get into the chamber.
Well, yeah,
But it's-
and the main reason that windows were getting broken at one point anyway, was because the rumor that somebody had gotten shot and everybody was
Mhm.
locked out.
Yeah.
Was spreading. You know, so
Well, it
people
wasn't a
were pissed
rumor,
off.
was it? They fucking Ashley just genuinely got fucking murdered. You know,
I mean,
you can see she's got nothing in her fucking hands. You're a law enforcement officer. You've got the ability to physically you've got the training to physically restrain her and put her in fucking handcuffs. She's
Yeah,
clearly
I
not
mean-
fucking armed.
I don't know. In my personal opinion, it's a gray area. But I would, like, if it was someone's house, like, I would definitely be fine with her getting
Okay.
shot.
Imminent threat. If she's in the middle of a window,
Yeah,
like
but it doesn't
physically
matter.
climbing through a door, is she an
But-
imminent threat?
It doesn't matter about imminent threat, though. If you know, like
Okay, you
Castle-
shoot someone that's
Castle
not an imminent
Doctrine.
threat and see if it matters.
Castle Doctrine doesn't
Yeah,
care
but the,
about
ca-
imminent
yeah, but the
threat, right?
Capitol building is not a castle.
I know. I'm just saying.
Like you can't. I mean, also look at DC. Look at the restriction on gun laws in DC. There isn't a castle doctrine in DC, as far as I'm aware. And even if
Well,
there
no,
were,
that's true.
the Capitol building doesn't qualify as a castle because it's not your home. You're not
No.
defending it. It's been defended
I-
by armed officers. So
I
what I'm
do-
saying is,
I do get that. She
if-
wasn't being a
if
threat to
you
anyone,
try
but
and
she was breaking through a window.
okay.
And
So
like,
if I'm breaking at your house and I'm busting the door in, until I breach that fucking doorway,
no, I
I
can
am no
shoot you.
threat to you.
If
Until
you're
I
on
am,
my porch, I can shoot you.
no, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
No, I
I
can't.
really wouldn't do that if I were you. Look
You-
at where was
I
it?
absolutely
Fucking-
can.
A
I
year
think it
ago,
was.
that dude did exactly the same thing on his front fucking porch, and now he's in Nick.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know. Chad Reed did
You
it.
can't shoot somebody through your front door.
Chad Reed did it very
Dude.
recently, and they
Dude,
completely
if you
dismissed it.
okay, please don't
Just
shoot
text.
someone through your front door. Like there is a physical barrier. If they're not carrying a weapon and you shoot them, doesn't matter what they're saying. If they're not carrying a weapon and they're not because there is a physical barrier in the way, there's not an imminent threat to your life. So the point I'm making here is, firstly, it's not a castle doctrine because it's not their castle. The officer doesn't live there, right?
Yeah,
He's
I'm
armed.
not disagreeing with you.
The point that I'm making is that's if you or I did that to a fucking home invader, we would get fucked in court. But because he's a fucking police officer, it's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Did he get qualified immunity, or is there actually going to be?
I don't think there is qualified immunity anymore. I'm pretty sure there was something in the courts after this fucking Derek Chauvin crap that fucked with qualified immunity. But
No, qualified immunity is still a thing. It's just limited. But like, yeah, I don't know. There should be. Yeah, I guess because it's DC. But like, you would think that there would be a damn trial. Like, if there was a trial for Derek Chauvin, like there should be a goddamn trial for that guy.
well, I'm sure if Ashley Babbitt had been black, there would have been a trial.
Well, yeah. I mean, she was a chick though. At the wrong time.
Yeah, but she was straight and white, and she was
No,
conservative.
I completely
so-
disagree though. Like, if it was Ben Carson or something, like, there's no way they would give a shit. They'd be like, woohoo, just like they are now.
It's fucking insane, but it's awesome. I mean, find somebody that gives a fuck about January 6th committee.
Yeah, no one cares. That
Like,
is
no
true.
one gives a fuck. Everyone's bothered about why the fuck am I paying $5 a gallon? Oh, you're not. No. Biden's brought the fuel price down. How has Biden brought the fuel price down? Didn't we just get told by Biden that it's not his fault when it's going up, but now it's coming down? It's his credit.
Oh yeah,
But then
and,
you look at the price of gas relative to the price of diesel. Why hasn't diesel come down commensurately?
and he's
Because you
taken
got-
more than a quarter of our strategic reserves.
Yeah, he's bleeding the piggy bank dry.
Well, yeah. Oh, there we go. There's another reason that Russia might be able to deliver nukes, Mr. Easy Fish.
What do you mean?
We'll run out of gas. Trying to prevent
Last I checked, intercontinental ballistic missiles did not run off diesel. and they
What's
did
that?
not fill up. The intercontinental ballistic missiles did not fill up at the Walmart E10 pump.
No, but I don't think we know where all of their nukes are. So if they don't launch them all at once, and our Iron Dome system is not sufficient, which I don't think it is. I absolutely don't think it is. I have a 2001 example to back my idea.
Yeah, but there's no difference between an intercontinental ballistic missile and a civilian jetliner with 400 people in it.
Yeah, but I mean, but also a jetliner is not made to be subtle, or grab, like avoid getting shot down.
I mean, look at the questions surrounding the flight that just happened to. Oh, it crashed because the passengers overpowered the hijackers. Yeah, all right then. Definitely, yeah. Had nothing to do with the Air Force. Honest, totally believe you. 100% wasn't.
No,
shut down.
I don't think it does though, because that one, like there were people on the phone on that one, like people using cell phones on that one.
According to who?
Oh boy, dude, I don't have $1 billion to give to the survivors.
Yeah, but you see what I'm going with that. According to the government, according to the fucking government, you mean $1 billion to the survivors that did what? The survivors that crashed into the ground and all died.
I mean the people, like they call the family members of dead people survivors.
Yeah, well, you don't get the good thing about being dead is you don't get to sue for defamation, and neither does your family.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop the kids' parents from Sandy Hook.
Yeah, but they're still alive because their argument being they were defamed, they themselves were defamed by Alex Jones.
Yes.
That's what the court hinges on.
I get that, but
So-
again, you're saying that the evidence, the phone call evidence, which is from their family members.
Oh, I'm not saying the families don't think they've
Uh-huh.
had phone calls.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Right. I'm saying that the federal government is more than likely. It wouldn't surprise the piss out of me if the federal government was responsible for producing those quote unquote calls.
Oh, also the Jones thing. I kind of find it funny.
Yeah.
Like those attorneys convinced a bunch of idiots to do exactly the opposite of what they said they were going to do. They were like, oh, you need to, make Alex Jones pay so much that he's completely driven out of off the radio or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But that's not how it works. When you convict somebody, and then the damages are way more than you can afford, you're basically stuck paying as much as you can for as long as you can, which means that the government prevents you from quitting your job.
Yeah.
The government prevents
Also,
you from selling assets that
on
would make
appeal,
money.
On appeal,
So-
you really think he's going to end up paying 10% of that?
Oh no, not even close. I don't think so. Besides which, he doesn't have 100 million. But
Yeah.
But no, if that doesn't get completely thrown out on appeal, like if he doesn't get a complete reversal on appeal, I'm shocked.
All he's got to do is tie it up in the courts for, a specific amount of time.
Well,
yeah.
yes and no, because they're forcing him into bankruptcy anyway. Right.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's like, because you see that crap, and then you see Kanye getting sued by the Grifters family for $250 million. You're like, well,
Yeah, but that's going to get thrown out, I think.
yeah, exactly. But then again, so should the Alex Jones case. Like they think the Alex Jones case is going to give them a paycheck from Kanye, when the reality of it is you're not going to lose a defamation case because you quoted information, facts, empirical evidence within a coroner's report.
Well, and here's the thing about the Alex Jones thing that really gets me is like he didn't even talk about directly, like he didn't even mention most of the plaintiffs here, right? Like he only mentioned by name, I think, one of them ever.
Yeah.
And then
what about the decades worth of apologies he's made between then and now?
Oh yeah, that was a goddamn mistake. Never fucking apologize to these people. An apology is an admission of guilt. Like, that's just a fact. If you didn't do it, you don't need to apologize.
Yeah, but why didn't you file this suit 10 years ago then? 20 years ago?
Well, yeah, because, there weren't billions of dollars in damage from a bunch of terrorists to convince a bunch of so-called blind actors of justice, the judges, into caving to activists. It's my humble opinion.
No, you're right. Oh, shit.
But yeah, it's complete bullshit.
Right, what's our next meme?
But we need to talk about Kanye later.
Yes.
I have some thoughts.
You have some thoughts?
Speaking of thoughts,
Pop.
All right, so this one is about rings of power. I was kind of hoping the Rings of Power season finale would have had Galadriel. How do you say this? Galadriel break the fourth wall and go to Amazon Prime Video's headquarters and tell the writers to fix the story.
There's no way of fixing the story other than just delete it and pretend it never happened. Because I don't know what it is, but it's not Tolkien.
It's still kind of funny. What do you think?
It's stating the obvious. It's stating what everyone else is thinking. Although,
fine, we'll put an F.
Yeah, just burn it and call it good.
Oh yeah, this one's funny. Read it.
I'm gay now. Okay, Madonna, let's get you to bed. I mean, yeah, I need attention. Fuck off, you old crow.
Yeah, can you believe that crap?
Yeah. Oh, no one's paid me attention for more than 3 minutes. Me.
I think this belongs next to the
like a virgin.
This is called FUD, right? This is FUD.
No. That's not FUD. FUD.
Explain to. I totally know what FUD is, but explain to the audience, please. What is
your
FUD?
FUD is your lifetime NRA member, and it normally goes something along the lines of, "Oh, I support the Second Amendment, but no, you don't." Yeah, hunting this and the Constitution doesn't mention hunting. No, it doesn't, because it's not about hunting four-legged animals. It's about deer. Don't need. How many deer do you see wearing a bulletproof vest? I don't know. The ones I'm concerned about have got 3 letters on them. And generally, those are the ones that make people. That's what the Second Amendment's about. Is about the 3 letters.
People keep saying that he's demented, and that's why he's like this. But this stuff that he's repeating constantly, he's repeated over the years. He's just a liar. Like back before he became Dementia Joe, right? Like he used to run for president, and people had, just long videos that were just a bunch of examples of him lying for no reason.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's just crazy. Like, and back in the day, you could get away with it because hardly anything you said was recorded.
Archive today.
And now it's just so damn obvious.
That's got to be top tier on the left. That one.
Yes, I don't know about top tier, but it's definitely based and high.
Mm.
It's basic bitch based. But I still A.
Mm.
Like this is better. This is an S tier. It's something.
Do it.
Mario Kart.
Brilliant. Just fucking
Yeah,
brilliant.
that's definitely S tier.
So we've still got like 150 of these things to do.
What's that?
We've still got like 150 of these things to do.
Not 150. But yeah, there's an endless supply of them. Oh yeah, I like this one too.
I agree.
Ignore me though.
Just a never-ending queue of, oh, I need reparations. What about me? Me. Stop being a whingy little bitch. Do I get to go back to it? Do I get to wander over to Italy and tell them that their 14 times great-granddad Centurion Bulbagius raped my nana, so they owe me some reparations from the Italian coffers? No, because Sergio the pizzeria owner is going to tell me to fucking pound sand, isn't he?
Yeah. Also, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's very funny though.
That's
Because
right.
This is
Where does it
this
end?
is very true. Like,
Where does it end? People have been fucking killing each other and taking their shit for fucking literally fucking eons. That's just how that fucking works. It's not fair. I didn't win the game. Well, yeah, okay. Learn or perish. It's up to you.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like, you know, when the first Democrat president sent all the Indians on the Trail of Tears. Did you
I know.
know?
How do you do that? Being a massive racist, of course.
Did you know that the Indians got to take their slaves with them?
That's nice of you. I mean, you don't want to break up a happy family unit, do you?
What's that?
You don't want to break up a happy family unit now, do you?
B. What do you think? B.
Yeah, B's probably good. Oh, okay, well. Oh, we'll have the.
Oh yeah, I like this one a lot.
I can't see this. What is it?
Based, yeah.
You press this button, abortion will become unthinkable. But men will have to take responsibility for children. They push button, push button, push button. Dude, stop. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's like, who the hell are you arguing with? Like, I see that a lot. Like, from the pro-abortion people. They're like, but
Yeah.
then men will have to be responsible for,
Dude,
like, they'll have to stop leaving women. It's like, that. Do you not realize that that's not how it works? Like, single mothers are not because the men left in almost all the cases.
and then I would argue that the ones that were like that, she was probably a fucking psycho.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like, there's going to be a small percentage that went out for a packet of cigarettes and never came back.
based.
Homeschool your kids; they won't fit in with society. Correct.
Correct.
Yes. Fine by
That
me.
is the point.
If what you consider society is the thing, then fine by fucking me.
A.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite an S tier. It would have to be a little quippier. Wait. Oh my god.
Okay, blow it up because I can't do that.
I didn't get it for a second.
Getting Ashley, we're going to take a shower. Is that Pistorius?
James O'Keefe. Here, I'll give you a hint. James
sure
O'Keefe.
James
would
O'Keefe?
appreciate this.
You sure that's not? Oh
fuck, that's Ashley as in Ashley Biden, and that's Joe. Sorry, I thought we were going with Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah, so the reference is that in that that diary, the diary, it mentions
Allegedly.
Joe Biden showering with his teenage daughter or teenage.
One moment.
Hmm?
For the benefit of the three-letter agency Wankweasel that is monitoring this cast, we do not have access to the book. We are merely speculating our opinions as to what may be in said diary. Please do not raid my house, and please do not shoot my dogs.
It sounds like a lot of mumbling. I can't understand what you're saying.
Well, maybe turn the fucking gain up because I can't mouth fuck the microphone anymore.
Oh, okay,
If
I
I
can
put it
understand.
any further in my mouth, I will be making noises.
It wasn't a volume issue. It was just a mumble issue.
ATF, I don't have the diary. Don't shoot my dogs.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I haven't read it, but allegedly.
Sniffy Joe, Foxy.
Oh, also, I thought it was fake. Isn't the diary fake? Oh wait, it's not fake.
No, that was the laptop, which is now real. Now,
No,
now that
they-
they want a shot of him ahead of the midterms, it's real.
No,
so
they,
I'm sure the diary will be real.
they said that the diary was also fake. That it didn't exist. No.
But the same as the laptop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, the Democrats have been known for, what, 30, 40 years for busing people between states to, legitimately cast ballots multiple times. Like, allegedly.
Yep.
That's the thing that people have, said. And then,
Well, it's like the old adage, isn't it, that you grow more conservative over time until you die and then you vote Democrat.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so I put it in B, although I really do think it's better than that. It should maybe go in A, but we're running out of space.
Due
That's
to your piss poor PowerPoint skills, you don't really have the space to put it in anywhere other than B.
Yeah, I could make more. Okay, fine.
Okay, that I don't even know what that says, but it's a wall of text, so it probably at best won't get above an E because it looks like a leftist meme.
That's true. It's a Babylon Bee thing. So it says, boardroom demons applaud as CEO Satan suggests rebranding child sacrifice as women's healthcare. Then it says, okay, everyone, listen up and write this down. I've got another genius idea. It may be most twisted, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, you're right.
The thing with the B is they do a lot of funny stuff, but they always color within the lines because they're on YouTube, they're on Facebook, so they have to.
The biggest issue is that it's like, right on the edge of based and normie, which is what, like, it's their bread and butter, right? They're
trying to be as milk toast, as edgy as milk toast can be. When you put the toaster onto 4.
Don't get me wrong, though. They do get some S tier memes every once in a while, but they're just here. They're right here. This is the best spot right here.
Gotcha.
See, that's some funny shit right there.
Yes. Lizzo does need to be harpooned.
This is the worst place to be.
Lizzo is vile.
All right, next one. Man, okay. So it's a genie, and then it's a guy, and the guy says, I wish I could fix the government. And then the genie says, it is done, poof. And then the guy says, a gun? ? And then the last panel is, my lawyer has recommended that I do not finish this joke.
Yep.
That
For legal purposes, this is satire.
S tier.
We are broadcasting this from underneath a bridge, just in case you need clarification.
All right. Oh yeah, this is a good one too.
Yep.
And it's big text, so even
Even
The-
the stupid can see it.
the older individuals among us can read it.
Just because I've leveled up more than you doesn't mean you get to go off.
You want to read it, Boomer?
So it's got some anime mousy looking ethot thing in a fishnet bodysuit with a choker and a bow in its hair, and it says girls who grew up without a father. And the next panel is exactly the same, and it says boys who grew up without a father. Welcome to insert current year. Yes.
I think that's a solid B tier,
Well, yeah, okay.
and it's quite based, but not quite as based as it could be. All right.
More in me. I'm
Oh yeah. This is a pretty.
grown.
This one's pretty on point in my
Here we
opinion.
go.
You
Well,
might disagree.
way up.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's the NATO bases.
Yes. And it says Russia wants war. Look how closely they put their country to our military bases.
Yep.
Pretty good point.
It's funny.
Yeah, I mean it's accurate too, but it's very normy,
Hmm.
accurate, not super funny. BC,
C tier.
what?
C.
C. Okay. It is. I mean, it's very accurate. Like Russia gets treated pretty poorly.
See
The
this
U.S.
one.
wouldn't put up.
This one I like. This one is very good
Okay,
because
you want to read it?
I would wage money that that's how that fucking happened. If you could blow it up a little bit, because the print is somewhat microscopic from my perspective.
Well, the problem is that I'm going through the list, or I mean, through the images, top to bottom. So when I stretch it, it's on a layer. They're all layered under. I guess I could put
Yeah,
it.
so Biden's on the left, and he says, if you don't fire the prosecutor, you're not getting the $1 billion. And Zelensky's on the right saying, New Deal. If I don't get $16 billion, the prosecutor gets to talk.
Yep.
I think that's an actual transcript of the conversation, to be honest with you.
It would be funny if it wasn't so infuriating.
Ukraine, the great laundry room of the 21st century.
This is on the base side, but barely.
Barely based in a B. There you go.
B? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Oh yeah. This one is hilarious. I don't remember exactly what it said, but I remember it was pretty funny.
Kind of made you laugh.
Let me move this all the way. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me try to do a Japanese accent and fail miserably. You cannot invade. Okay, fuck it. Never mind. You cannot invade the mainland United States. There would be a poor behind every blade of grass trying to unjam their budget AR, which they just vowed to everyone on Facebook the day before that it worked just as good as a quality build. They present a tripping hazard.
Yep. Yep.
This is good, bro.
PSA and Anderson, helping train immediate action drills for many years. Ah, crap. How the fuck are these things getting in my house? The windows are shut, the bugs are getting in.
See what I mean? This right here. This is an A to S tier Babylon B meme.
Zelensky seen on raft asking for donations from flooded Florida residents. Yep. 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 The
It gets me every time. Never gets old. Okay. I'm gonna call it 8. Gonna scoot over a little bit. There you go. All right. Oh, geez. I wonder who put this one here. All right.
Changing the system. Oh god, I can't fucking read that fucking tiny ass fucking text. Wrong way. What part of make bigger isn't the how is that a D tier meme?
Okay. Hold on. 1 second.
Oh god.
You're on hold.
You do that. Play the whole music. I'm gonna go and close some windows.
We will be with you momentarily. There's been a technical difficulty.
Yeah, fucking Mothra's in my living room.
What's in the living room? Okay. Hola.
I'm dealing with an actual Mothra. It's about the size of an albatross.
Oh, really? I am grabbing something from the interweb. What's the name? Ah, yeah.
Right, I'm back. I've no idea where Mothra's gone, but I'm here.
Okay, I'm just finishing up here. Okay, what would be after purple? It's gonna be. Let's go. This color. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And this one. I'm just gonna slide it back a little bit. There we go. Oh, not quite that far. Where's this other rectangle? There we go. And we need to put a little bit of text down here. Right here. Just like so. I'm gonna zoom in. And backspace.
What the shit are you doing? What on earth is Gavin McGinnis doing there?
Change your font size to 60. And we're gonna say hi. Wait, no.
You can disavow all you like. That's fucking hilarious. And blow it up and let me read it. It's funny because it's fucking true. Don't joke. Don't joke.
This one is also funny because it's fucking true.
Blow up the fucking thing with the dog in it.
What's that?
Blow up the meme with the dog in it.
We did. We saw it already.
No, we didn't. We didn't blow up so we could fucking read it.
YouTube has already flagged the channel.
Oh, I thought changing the syrup bottles was going to fix everything. Yes. Yes. But did you notice how what actually happened was everybody except for the Quaker Oats dude got cancelled. So all of the PMPs lost their jobs and the white guy kept his job. So
very
well
similar
done with
to,
the diversity.
it's a very similar observation to what I want to discuss about Kanye West. But let's first put this one somewhere. Do you see it?
Yes.
Birth control effectiveness.
A hat.
Condoms 99%. Birth control pills 99%. Fedora 100%.
Yes.
Milady.
Yes. Well, an hour and a half. I am skirting the drain today. Can we do the Kanye thing on the next one?
Are you bailing?
I'm gonna have to, mate. I'm fucked. I've had a grand total of 3 hours sleep and I've been awake since 2:30. So yeah.
Wait, how about we stop doing this and we just do Kanye really fast?
Okay. Can we rephrase that?
Can we what?
Can we rephrase that?
Oh yeah, did you see what the stream is called, by the way?
A long time coming.
And then read the description.
Where's the fucking description? I don't think I get access. I'm not watching the stream. I'm just in the.
Oh
stream.
yeah.
So I have no idea what it's called on YouTube.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So
I have a share screen, or just tell me.
it says a long time coming, and then in the description it says and other stories about your mom. Nice.
Mom jokes. Winner.
Indeed. Oh hey.
Yes.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
What was? Don't say your mom.
Oh, a guy from Minecraft.
No.
He said hi and good night.
Oh, you mean actually in Minecraft, not in Minecraft, but actually in Minecraft.
Yeah.
This one time.
Unlike some of the people that or entities that we've been discussing, this gentleman is not in need of a Minecrafting.
Ah.
Anyway, he's already in Minecraft.
Gotcha.
Decipher that, feds. Anyway, so yeah, we got a black screen in the background. We gotta fix that. I guess I should at least pull this up and at least it's there. So Kanye West has said some stuff about some protected peoples.
What, you mean you're not allowed to state the obvious?
Okay, so here's the thing about that. I don't understand why people are so upset with him, especially on the like BLM side. It's exactly what BLM believes. Is it not?
Yeah, but Kanye is the house word, isn't he?
Well, that's what they say. But the thing is, like, okay. So anytime you get in an argument with one of these BLM type people, right? You end up getting all these statistics about how white people apparently are super rich and have all the cool toys or whatever in the U.S.
I must have missed that memo.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, if you remove, a certain race from that race, then their statistics completely flip on them.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're actually saying is that they're anti-Semitic. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, BLM is
Yeah.
explicitly anti-Semitic.
Oh, of course it is. It's fucking anti everyone that's not black. Because it's
Yeah,
a racist
I mean,
movement.
Don't get me wrong. They're a bunch of anti-white racists, but they're just dumb.
I don't know.
They
mate.
don't
I don't
realize
think
that they're
just
actually
anti-white racists. I think they're anti everybody who isn't black, and then
Well,
it will
yeah,
be,
that's
then it will degrade into the well, you'll end up with delineations within the beast itself, whereby you're not black enough. You
Well,
need
yeah,
to
but I
be
mean-
Nubian coloured, otherwise you're lesser, and it'll just keep eating itself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they always try to justify it with historical racism, right?
Yeah, power plus privilege. Oh, you mean you get to be a racist fuck, but nobody else can? That's what they're translating
Yeah.
to, right?
Yeah, but I just find it funny that every single statistic that they put forth, if you just actually separate that one racial factor out, separately in the data, then suddenly the Caucasians are actually not doing so well.
Yeah.
And all of their arguments disintegrate, which means
Well-
they're anti-Semitic. Like they literally just hate the Jews.
Well, look
Which-
at the numbers. We've all heard the 1352 or 1353, whatever it is. The 13% responsible for this 52%, whatever it is. But that implies that the entire 13% are the criminal element. And it's like, well, that's clearly not fucking right. Like, what fucking small percentage? Is it like 1% of that 13% are actual criminals? Because that would be fucking ridiculously high. You look at every other demographic, you don't have that percentile of people offending within society.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's if you look at any of these problems, right? Or whether they're problems or ostensible problems, like that one, for example, is explicitly because we've set up this system in our culture where there's less responsibility required to be taken depending on your race, right? Like there's already an assumption that you're gonna suck if you're certain races, and so why would you try hard? You can just blame it on another race, right?
Well,
And
my point
then
being, I would like to see what percentage of that 13% are actually recidivist criminals, because then you can turn around and go, well, actually, 53% of the violent crime in the country is caused by let's say 1% of the population. That's it.
Well, yeah, and the amount of it that's repeat offenders, right, is a huge proportion.
Yeah.
And why are they getting such? Why are they able to repeat offend? Why are they not in prison? Well, I wonder.
Cash, or is it no cash bail and all that crap?
And then on the other side, right? So like these people are clearly anti-Semitic, and their argument, well, or even if you say that they're not anti-Semitic and it's actually whites, like that's including whites or whatever. They're anti-white and Jews and Asians and whatever else is supposedly successful racial division that they like to make all the time. Yeah. Also, this is ridiculous. Like the university that I went to, before, that we won't name, but like they have black only graduation ceremonies, segregated graduation ceremonies, and this is like
so segregation wasn't the problem. You
Yeah,
want
this is so
segregation, you
fucking
just want it
upside
the other
down.
way up.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, as long as you've got the whip hand, segregation's fine.
it's so ridiculous. Like racism is not racism, but not being racist is actually racist. Also, racism is not an opinion. That's what they used to put on the subway stops in Toronto, was racism is not an opinion. It's like, what the hell is it then? like it's some kind of physical entity that must be exterminated. And it's like, no,
Yeah,
it's a goddamn opinion. Why don't you
the
try
nebulous
convincing?
entity of racisms. So you're not going to define it as you're not going to define what the nebulous entity is, so that it's sufficiently malleable to encompass whoever you need to throw under it whenever it's most expedient for you.
Well, yeah, and the reason that they don't the reason that they don't want to try to convince people is because as soon as you look at their positions for a microsecond, you realize that, oh, they're racist. and
It's the same liberal mindset. All the ringing and screaming has to be done because their entire position is built on sand, so it cannot withstand any kind of criticism or any kind of opposition because it will just fall apart. And they can't let anyone within their echo chamber hear that the emperor is naked. It's the emperor's new clothes. That's the whole the whole progression. The whole progressive movement will render down to the emperor's new clothes.
Yeah, and I mean it's completely ridiculous too. Their conclusion, right? Their conclusion is like these privileged people, blah blah blah, exist, right? So we need the government to step in and remove them because they're in collusion with the government and controlling everything.
Let me offer a minor edit there. These privileged people who we have determined to be, we are the arbiters of who is not privileged. We have decided that you are privileged. Now, therefore, we need the actual privileged people to step in and reaffirm our beliefs and persecute you.
Right. But okay.
Without a shred of irony.
In this context, though, I want to specifically just talk about when they're talking in good faith, and they're talking about the 1% or whatever, the actual like owners of banks and media and whatnot.
Well, the 1%, and at the same time, the deep state's a conspiracy theory.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? That's one thing, and then the other thing is, like, their conclusion is to give more power to the state when they're admitting that the problem is that these companies are in collusion with the state. And the only reason that it's even beneficial to these companies or CEOs or owners of companies or whatever to be in collusion with the state is because we're giving the state the authority to control companies, right? So they're able to use the state they're able to use the federal or state governments or whatever government to regulate their competition out of the marketplace, right? So like it's all just like you said, built on sand.
Yeah,
the
thing is, you can ameliorate this problem really easily. You institute legislation that binds any company that operates within the US to the constraints of the Constitution.
No, I disagree with that. Absolutely. I absolutely disagree with that. Why? Because I don't think that I don't think that I own a company. So I don't think I get to go to your house and say whatever I want. Right? Like if I say something you don't like at your house, you should be able to kick me out. I don't own your house.
Yeah.
So I think that the solution is that we don't allow the government to regulate businesses.
Well, that's what my point is. So the only constraint on this freedom of speech is a call to action, right?
Is what?
A call to action.
I mean, it depends on the call of action, but yeah, I see what you mean.
The call to action, the doctrine of a call to action being, you can't just shout fire in a crowded theatre for shits and giggles.
Well, but that's not the only restriction on freedom of speech either, right? Like fraud is a restriction on freedom of speech, and defamation.
Within the well, think about it. It does actually boil down to the essential same premise. You can shout fire in a crowded theatre if there is a fire. If you're shouting fire in a crowded theatre when there is no fire for your own malicious intent, that's the same thing.
Well, yeah, but
just
the difference,
fraud, just calling it like the fraud, the defamation, they are done with deliberate intent to deceive for your own nefarious reasons. So they're effectively the same thing. The point that I'm making is that the only reasonable restraints on freedom.
I guess you're right. They all basically
call to action.
Fraud.
So my point being, you don't, once you have the First Amendment, you don't need government regulation upon that. You don't need you don't need specific. You don't need the government to manage that because it's set there in concrete. So
well, yeah, but you
if
do
companies
though.
hang on, if companies operate because you've seen the melding of the state proper and big tech, to the point where Facebook are flagging problematic posts for the White House, the White House is flagging problematic posts for Facebook to take down, right? So if they are held to the constraints of the Constitution, that then prevents the government from using tech companies as proxies for their own infringement upon the civil liberties of the people. So if you tie companies that wish to operate within the US to the constraints and protections of the Constitution, the government doesn't, you forget, you're conflating the Constitution with the government. The Constitution is a supreme document to limit the power and control the government, not
the government, yes, but not of the people. But okay, so here's my problem with what you're saying, is that I and again, I 100% agree with you that companies that act on behalf of the government should absolutely be constrained by the Constitution, but not all companies.
Why not?
And I 100% believe that Facebook should be able to kick all conservatives off their platform if they want to, but not under the current system. But
they would still be able to. Under the doctrine of free speech, they would still be able to, because if you are doing something that is provably a violation of a call to action in its broadest possible sense, then you have a legitimate reason to do that. What you then preclude from happening once you do that, you preclude one autistic, possibly alleged, certainly fucking on the spectrum weirdo from dictating how public discourse in what is effectively the modern public square is conducted. All in the same vein that the conversation that we're having now, you are free to object to what it is that I'm saying, as I am to you, but it's almost like I go, okay, now I'm going to mute G because I need to say my thing and he's not allowed to contradict that.
But I don't.
You see where I'm coming from?
I definitely don't subscribe to the argument of the public square. I don't believe that I don't believe that if people like to be somewhere enough, that then the people that like to be there get to own it. I don't believe in that kind of communistic BS. Like,
what do you mean?
Here's the problem with Facebook.
Because it sounds like what you're saying. Exactly what's going on.
The problem with Facebook is that Facebook is operating on behalf of the government. It's reciprocal, right? They're doing the government's bidding, and well, basically that's it. They're just doing the government's bidding, and in exchange, they're getting immunity from fraud cases, especially. They're getting basically immunity from litigation, right? This is what I think needs to be fixed, right? But the problem with what you're arguing is that then you have to bake the cake for the gays or whatever. You got to do, if someone comes into your business and starts saying things that you don't like, you can't kick them out, right? But you own it.
But you can. You can refuse. I'm not saying you can't refuse service to someone, because you can. So you're telling me you can come into my cake store, and under what I'm proposing, you can say, "Oh, bake me a cake, otherwise, you're in breach of the Constitution." Well, no, because my First Amendment rights of the free practice of religion tells me that you cannot compel me to make you a cake. Making you a cake is not a fundamental God-given right protected by the Constitution. The free exercise of religion is, and my belief that your sexual preference is wrong is part of that religious belief. Your want for a wedding cake is not a constitutionally protected. So you're conflating the idea, and you're actually weirdly constructing a bit of a straw man there, because by being made a cake is not a constitutional right. Free practice of religion is, and my right to refuse you service on those grounds is.
Well, okay. First of all, I don't think it's actually a straw man, but it doesn't matter. You can change it to whatever you want to remove it from religious, but something that you disagree with. And you're forced to, like, even if somebody just comes in and starts talking about how much they want to bang your underage daughter. Let's say that's a thing. They come in, they want to bang your underage daughter. They just keep saying it. Like, there's nothing illegal about saying that.
Why would your business being bound by the Constitution prevent you from kicking someone out who's trying to hit on your minor daughter?
If they're only using words, then yes. Like, you can go tell Joe Biden that you want to bang his daughter. It's legal. It's a thing that you can do.
Right. Can I tell Joe Biden that I want to kill him?
Yes, you can.
Right. And I'm not going to get dogpiled by a bunch of blokes in sunglasses.
Well, no, you probably will, but you won't get
so I can't.
prosecuted.
I can't. Like, so you've got terroristic. So you've got the criminal offence of terroristic threats.
That's not a threat, though.
If I'm telling you I want to fuck your minor daughter, you can interpret that as a threat. You are scaring me because I have a genuine belief that you intend to fornicate with my underage daughter. Therefore, you have created a terroristic threat.
Okay, well, remove
so
the
that is a crime in and of itself, and I can kick you out of the building.
Okay, yeah, but you're saying you can interpret it, blah blah blah. So what you're saying is that you want the government to regulate every business that has any interaction with anybody.
No, because it wouldn't be the government. It would be the government. Companies that operate within the US. No, it's not.
Who would do it? So you're saying the Constitution has to now apply to business.
What are you defining as which branch of the government are you defining?
No, you are saying that if you want to be a company in the United States, then you have to be regulated by the Constitution, just like the government. But the problem is that requires the government to enforce it.
No, we already have. Okay. Because it sounds to me like you're saying, like, Nancy Pelosi's going to decide and then Joe Biden's going to decide. It's like when we have constitutional issues.
No, I'm saying that it'll be regulated, like the businesses will be regulated. And
when we have constitutional
regulated now.
Who addresses the constitutional questions?
You're just removing ownership of the company.
Dude. Who addresses the constitutional questions when we have them? Who is it? Who is it who addresses the constitutional questions when they arise?
Supreme Court.
Exactly. Right? Which, when you... So do you think that the current composition of the Supreme Court is going to
they're not going to look at the text, history, and tradition of the Constitution at the time of ratification.
In the current composition, maybe, but you're not even. But that doesn't even make sense because it's not. It's going to be federal judges, not the Supreme Court, that's going to make these decisions. So in the Ninth Circuit,
because
hold on. So in the Ninth Circuit,
before you go into the waffle about the Ninth Circuit, is the Ninth Circuit say final?
No. Well, yes, actually, it is. The
No,
Ninth
it's not.
Circuit,
Because if it's appealed past the Ninth Circuit, it goes where?
most of the time, nowhere.
If
The Ninth Circuit is
if they
final
choose
say
not to
on
take it up,
99% of
if
the
they
things
agree,
that
if the
that they
Supreme
rule on.
Court agrees with the decision, they will refuse to take the case up. If they
No, that's
disagree
not
with
true.
it, it gets elevated.
That's not true. The Supreme Court is limited on time, and you're wanting to increase their burden by their time burden by millions of times.
Right. So,
But the fundamental thing is that you're removing the ownership of the property from the people. People, if you own a piece of property, you should be able to do with it what you want. You shouldn't have to, if you decide to make money or engage in voluntary exchange with other people,
and what you're doing is
have to be regulated like the government. That's
but
crazy.
when you control the entire fucking market space, when you have a complete monopoly, you're not factoring in complete monopolies.
Well, no, I did. First of all, I disagree.
Controls
that
the
Facebook
narrative
is a
in the
complete
public
monopoly,
square.
but okay, but what I'm saying is that an alternative solution to the problem is that we don't allow the government to regulate businesses at all. Period. We get rid of all the three-letter agencies, and we add a little bit to the Constitution that says, and also businesses. Leave them the fuck alone. Then, if there is a monopoly, I don't care, because there can only be a monopoly if people want the thing that they're giving or that they're selling.
Okay, which presupposes that the controlling element of the monopoly is not in any way malevolent.
I don't care if it's malevolent.
Dude, if you've got a complete libertarian running Meta and Twitter and all of the other the behemoth that is fucking Alphabet and Amazon, right?
I don't care.
If you've got a complete libertarian running all of those things, you might have a point.
No, but I don't care. I don't care what their motivations are. What I'm saying is that if we don't give the government the authority to regulate businesses, then the businesses have no reason to join the government. The whole reason that these businesses are joining the government is because it's the only way that they're actually maintaining their power.
To make the point, slight pivot.
Like, Facebook is
Klaus
a garbage freaking product. The only reason that they're able to stay afloat is because they are immune to fraud charges. So they defraud their users, and then they don't get put out of business.
Look at the likes of
defrauding
Klaus Schwab.
What's that?
Look at the likes of Klaus Schwab.
I don't like Klaus Schwab. Sure.
Okay. Why don't you like Klaus Schwab?
There's a reason that he's a communist. Klaus Schwab would agree with you that the Constitution should be applied to businesses.
Look at the Russian oligarchs, right? Look at the Saudi princes. Okay. How is Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos? How are they not oligarchs?
No, they absolutely are. I agree.
Okay. So now you've got someone who has a liberal, who has a progressive ideology, and he controls the narrative so much so that they manipulated an election.
Allegedly.
For
YouTube,
legal purposes,
most fair and free election of all time.
Yeah. So
So much so, they were able to subvert, allegedly, the course of an election.
So they say. Sure.
But let's
Yeah,
say for sake of argument, in a hypothetical Minecraft situation, that's exactly what fucking happened. He doesn't have an ethical line that tells him, yes, I can do this, but morally I should not do it, right? Because it's been done, right?
I
So
get what you're saying. Sure.
monopolies are a massive fucking problem, because then you end up with, I'm sorry, how the fuck is Facebook and Meta not a fucking problem?
No, Meta and Facebook are a problem. The problem is not that they're almost a monopoly. The problem is why they're almost a monopoly.
Right. Okay. So they cornered the market, and then they are a problem because the single controlling element of that fucking entity has aligned. He likes the government that's in. I understand what you're saying, that he likes the administration that's in power because they give him what he wants. But the point is, he has sufficient power to manipulate the system in order to put those people into power. This is why monopolies are a problem. This is why monopolies should not fucking exist, because it concentrates too much power that enables them to subvert.
How does he manipulate the system, though?
Okay, look at it from the perspective of
we have. I don't want to look at it from a different perspective. Just tell me how
I'm trying to illustrate the point to you. Why do we have an electoral college?
Why do we have the electoral college?
To mitigate the tyranny of the majority. How the flying fuck is half a dozen oligarchs running massive monopolies not the same fucking thing as removing the electoral college and allowing California and fucking New York and Chicago and Illinois to dictate to the rest of the country how the elections go?
Okay, again, because a monopoly is not inherently a governmental entity, and I agree with you that when they are, it's bad. But what I'm saying is that we can mitigate the situation a lot better by removing the government's ability to keep businesses which are not good businesses, which are not beneficial to which people are not voting for with their dollar, let's say, okay, in power, or give them more power than they should be getting on merit, rather than taking people's property away. I will not ever get behind.
It's not taking someone's property away. It's not taking.
It is.
You're saying that it's removing their ability to silence other people.
Yeah. If I go to your house and I say something you don't like, you should be able to kick me out. It's your house. If I'm able to go to your house and say whatever the hell I want, then it's not your house.
Yes, but this is why it's a straw man argument. I can kick you out of my house because I own the fucking thing, and you don't have a right to be there.
That's the same with businesses.
You are there at my
own a business.
You are there at my behest. Not, you don't have a right to be in my house. You are there as a guest. If you say something,
you don't have a right. You don't have a right to buy a product.
Has no bearing.
You don't have a right to buy a product from me. You don't have a right to enter my property to buy a product from me. But you're saying that you suddenly do.
No, I'm not. No, what I'm saying is that companies like Facebook, if bound to the Constitution, would be unable to prevent you from speaking.
Well, again, I agree with that. If you make the caveat, businesses which are acting on behalf of the government or government entities.
Constrain it to monopolies.
No, I disagree with that.
There is a threshold for a monopoly.
I definitely disagree with that.
Why?
Why? Because I'm a fan of monopolies. Like-
Who gets to decide? Well, you say you're a fan of monopoly, but how did Facebook get to be a monopoly? Facebook
Exactly.
Facebook utilized basically psyop principles to manipulate, and the same things that cause people to become addicted to slot machines. Right, the same psychological all the bells and whistles and flashing lights are a specific thing that are done for a fucking reason, and the payout ratios are orchestrated to deliver the same addicting dopamine effect on people as narcotics. That's what they're for. Facebook use very similar principles in order to generate their monopoly within the market. How they were acting like fruit machines.
Yeah, but the biggest thing that they do is they lie. They lie in order to gain money from people, which is fraud.
I understand that, but the point that I'm making, and that the chink in your argument being, in the same way that you don't have a right to be in my house, therefore I'm not violating your rights when you exercise your freedom of speech that I disagree with by kicking you out, right? Because you don't have a right to be there. The same way as I don't have a right to be in your business. Yes, I understand that, but equally,
you don't have a right to be on Facebook either.
No, but if what I am saying is not illegal, then you don't have justification for kicking me off just because you disagree with it. You see, because you've got and again, this speaks to your point where you have the Section 230 shite, where you claim to be a platform, so you're not a publisher. Well,
yeah, and I totally agree with
acting as a publisher and you are controlling and editing what's allowed to be said, and you are kicking people off for saying things that you don't want to publish, you then surrender that right, and the problem solves itself, because you're now no longer a platform, you're a publisher. If you declare yourself to be a platform, you are free and open, and you are giving it freely. So you have given those people the right to be there. The same way as if I declare my house open and free, anyone can walk into it and do what they wish. When I claim ownership of my house as a conflation of the arguments here, the conflation of terms to make it simpler to explain. If I declare my home to be a publisher's house, I own the fucking thing, and I can kick you out when I want to. If I claim my house to be a flop house, you have a right to turn up when you feel like it.
Yes, I agree.
So we're on the same page, effectively.
Well, no, because I don't think that it should be a condition of being. I don't think that there should be a condition for being a company in that acts. Or I don't think that any company that exists in the United States should be regulated in the same way. But again, I agree with you 100%.
I don't see that the Constitution
committing fraud
is a form of government regulation. It is not the government. It also
okay. Wait, hold on.
These United States.
So how would you make it? How would you make the Constitution apply to them? Would it not be a law? Would it be a constitutional amendment?
So,
what's the?
Do you not view the Constitution as the supreme document that allows the formation of a government? It is the supreme document enacted by the people that allows and control and itself regulates for the formation of government? Or do you view it as an extension of government?
No, it's the regulating document of the government, but it is also
the government entity is subservient to the Constitution.
It's also enforced by the government.
I understand that. Which isn't of itself about the people. Yes. So ultimately, the nebulous entity that is the federal government is actually is subservient to the people, or on paper should be subservient to the people, because it's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, right?
Sure.
So the government is answerable to the people via the Constitution.
But so is the government of every dictatorship with no
Yes, but
constitution.
the thing is, which is where we get into a point where we agree, the continual formation of this standing army of 3-letter agencies. Yeah. Now, if we take aside the obvious jokes about fucking school shootings, why the fuck does the Board of Education need to buy pistols, rifles, and fucking ammunition and body armor? There's no need for it. Why does the ATF so the IRS suddenly need 87,000 extra agents, a load of ammunition, a load of pistols, rifles, and body armor? Unless the federal government is gearing up its standing army to oppose the people.
No, I agree. But
We're on the
what
same
I-
page in that respect. It's just we seem to have a fundamental difference in the excuse me, fucking heartburn, in the application of, you disagree with binding corporations to
Yeah, I
tenants of the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, I just don't think that even we the people of the United States or whatever, I don't think that we have a right to other people's property. I just don't.
No, I get it. I don't think it is a right to other people's property, because Facebook claim to be able to do what they do because they're an open platform and a platform is something because they are assuming the mantle of the public square, right?
Yes, they say that themselves.
The public
yes,
square, the square that belongs to the possessive of the public is possessive of the square. Right? It doesn't belong to Facebook. They are assuming the mantle of the public square. Therefore, they have no right to remove anyone from the public square.
Dude, you don't even have to make that jump. You don't even have to say they're de facto the public square, blah blah blah. They literally say to people that they're a free speech platform.
Exactly.
Which
if you're declaring yourself to be a
override.
platform, then you're a platform, and you have no right to remove anyone. Right. As soon as you start removing people, you are possessive of that platform, and it becomes your property because you are a publisher. Then you can do what the fuck you want, but then you're also subject to legislation that's already there in the first place.
Well, no, they own the property in either case.
Right.
The
If I
difference-
walk up, so let's wind the clock back 150 years, 200 years. I walk into the public square and I just put fucking pickets around it and some tape up and say, right, this is mine, you all fuck off. Nobody gets to talk here except for me. Does that now make it mine?
No, but if you bought a house and then invite people over and
No, because
They
the
talk a lot.
public square no longer exists. When you monopolize the media and when you monopolize social media,
but
where's
no,
the
hold on,
public
hold on.
square?
Hold on though. 1 second though. Facebook. Okay. Facebook is what? Millions, hundreds of millions, or billions of dollars worth of hard drives in servers all over the place, right? Those were owned by Facebook before and after all of this.
Yes, I understand that. But when you have
They owned them the
when you-
entire time.
But the reality of it is they have taken possession of what is the public square. The public square is not a physical fucking entity that you can own. It doesn't
Yeah, but I
belong to anyone. It is the
But here's the thing. I don't care.
In the same context that the term "shall" is a commanding instruction within the framing language of the Constitution. Right?
Sure.
The public square, the fact that it is public means it doesn't belong to anyone. As soon as you take ownership of it and you sequester it away from other people and you gatekeep it, you have no right to do that. You can't just walk up and take the fucker. That's what I'm saying. And that's what Facebook have done.
Well, no, but I completely disagree with that.
So are they publishers then, or they're not?
Oh, yeah, they're absolutely a publisher.
Okay, so we are in agreement. If they are a platform, then the public square is open and they have no right to gatekeep it. And if they are not, if it's closed and they become a publisher, and they are then liable under the existing legislation that's been there for years.
I disagree with that entirely too.
Why? So Facebook should just walk up, take control of the physical property that is now free speech, and in your mind, that's okay.
No, but that's not what they've done. So what
Really?
they've done, what they have done is committed fraud. That's true. But even if they were a platform, like even if they were not publishing, like they are, they still own the servers. They could still, like. Well,
And if they relinquish, they can still own the fucking servers. They can own as many servers as they fucking like. If they relinquish the monopoly on the public square, that doesn't stop them owning the servers. Also, by your own argument, you've said they've committed fraud, they've lied, they've profited from lying. If I become El Chapo's consigliere, kill him, take over, and now I am a multi-billionaire off the back of the drug trade, do I have ownership of that money? Is that legitimate? Those are the proceeds of crime. Do I get to keep those? If I retire from being a drug lord, do I then get to keep that money because I've earned it and it's my money? Or is it the profit of crime? If Facebook owns those servers through deception, lies, and crime, do they still own them? Or are they the profits of crime?
No. I agree with, well, okay. I mean, that's kind of complicated.
It's kind of right, though, isn't it?
Well, no. You're absolutely right about that. I mean, not necessarily that they don't own the servers, because, like, if you commit a fraud.
No. I'm not saying they don't own them. El Chapo owns loads of $100 bills from selling cocaine. He owns that money, right? But it's the profits of crime. If Facebook got to where they are through crime, are those servers their property or are they profits of crime?
But he doesn't legitimately own them, right?
Who does?
But whatever. Like,
of course he does. Read the bill. The bearer of this bill. The bearer of this bill. I promise to pay the bearer of this bill this sum. The person therefore the person that physically holds the bill. So he does own the money. If he buys a house with that money, if El Chapo buys all of the houses in fucking Spain or Mexico or wherever the fuck ever, I don't know why I said Spain. Those houses were purchased with the proceeds of the drug trade. Are they his property or are they the proceeds of crime? In the same way that if Facebook owns all of these millions of servers to create Facebook, they purchase them with crime.
Okay, yeah, right. But what I'm saying, I'm saying yes. You know, like it's the same for the part that is purchased with crime. But the thing is that Facebook has legitimately purchased things too. So like how much is legit and how much is through crime is not perfectly clear. But what I am saying is, yes, I agree with you that they are only in power through the fact that they are basically immune from litigation because of their cozy relationship with the government, which is the problem. And yes, they are committing fraud, and it needs to stop.
Which goes back to the very basis of the call to action. The whole point of the call to action being a lie, fraud, done for your own nefarious reasons, for your own benefit, which is exactly the same. So it would be regulated by the same principle.
No, I don't think so. Because, like, I don't think that if you open a coffee shop, right, and, like, people come to, like, talk about, you know, like how coffee shops were supposedly during the Renaissance, right? Like, people come in and just talk about politics and stuff. If, like, I don't know, if things get really bad politically, right? And then people come in who are pro-government, you should be able to kick them out. You should be able to be like, this is my property. This is my coffee. I don't want to sell it to you. I 100% think that's...
Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
Well, because it's my public square.
It's not no. a coffee shop is not the public square is not. They're not the same thing. Like in your example, there was a physical public square in those days. Like that's what that was, which was used for. So the analogy is clunky, right? The point is that you can refuse service to anyone you want for any reason. You can't refuse service to someone because, okay, if you're saying something that is factually wrong. And it is if you can prove, okay, so G said, the apple is a banana. Okay, I'm gonna boot you for that because it's not a banana, and I know you're saying that because you want to start a fight between people who like bananas. So you're trying to cause harm. There's an offence straight away. But if you go, no, that's not a banana, that's an apple. The text is wrong. You haven't said anything that's wrong. And that's what's going on. They're manipulating the language. They look at what they did with the confirmation of Coney Barrett, where they got Merriam-Webster's to change the definition of sexual preference so that they could retroactively be correct in their argument.
Being wrong, though, being wrong is protected free speech. If you say.
Yes, being incorrect, being maliciously incorrect is not. Like lying. If I tell you
lying is
of an apple is a banana and I know it to be wrong, I'm not incorrect, I'm lying.
Yeah,
and I'm doing it because I want to create a fight between you and people that like bananas.
Lying is protected free speech.
Not if it has a deliberate. Okay.
Yeah, if it's deliberate.
You just raised libel. You just raised slander.
Well, yeah, because those are frauds. So it's a lie plus gaining money, stealing money, right? Or stealing something, stealing reputation.
You can be you can be libelous of someone without seeking financial gain for yourself.
No, if you do financial damage, reputation.
Huh?
It requires that you steal reputation.
It's not a physical thing
in return.
Okay, you're not getting something. If I lie about
you have to get something.
If I slander your good name and call you a quack, right? That doesn't gain me anything. I have no monetary or physical gain from that whatsoever. I have no notoriety gain, nothing. All that does is damage you.
If you gain nothing, it can't damage me.
Okay, so what's tortious interference?
Tortious interference is interference that's a tort. So, like,
it's where I do something deliberately to fuck up your business. What gain, other than malicious glee, what have I gained?
Well, if you do something malicious to fuck up my business, that's most likely going to be not in the fraud. It's not going to be in speech. It's going to be like a physical thing, probably. But even if it is,
the point I'm getting after here is that it's deliberately deceiving people for an end. So if I tell you that, I don't know, the laptop's a Russian psyop and it doesn't exist, and we have to hide it because it doesn't. We have to hide the thing that doesn't fucking exist. How is that not? How is what? That's not tortious interference. That's not fucking slander. That's not liable. But it does give me a direct gain because it gives the political party that I like some leverage.
Yeah, and it damages everyone. So that damage and gain, which is what I said.
Right. If I want to cause a punch up between you and the banana people, I tell you that an apple's a banana, knowing that you will take that information and end up in an argument and a fight with the banana people. How is that not the same thing?
No, that is the same thing. But before you were just saying that just lying about a banana and an apple.
No. I already previous. I think you misheard me. I'd already said I lie about the apple being a banana to get you to fight with the banana people.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
It was,
Okay,
so
yeah.
we just went on an argument tangent for no reason. Yeah, that's what I was saying was that I did it for my malicious glee in the same vein, in the same spirit as a call to action where I call fire in a crowded theatre when there isn't one, because I want to cause a stampede and enjoy the chaos.
Yeah, but even if you do that, that's also not illegal. Yelling fire in a crowded
absolutely is.
theater when there's no fire, also not illegal.
Okay,
However,
so if I call fire in a crowded theatre and there isn't a fire and I did it deliberately and there's a stampede and a granny gets fucking trampled,
Wait.
that's not a crime.
But wait. It requires that last thing, that there is actually a stampede.
Okay, so that's why there is a call to action limit on free speech. That's what that's for. Is so that kind of disruptive behaviour is not practiced, so that there is a limit to prevent people from doing that kind of thing. We're fixating on the crowded theatre, but anything analogous to that.
Sure, but again, I think that if you have that coffee shop and somebody comes in and says that an apple is an apple, and you say an apple is a banana, you should still be able to kick them out because it's your fucking coffee shop.
Yes, because what they've done is deliberately lied
No.
about a thing for a specific
No.
reason.
If they are telling the truth and you are the one lying, you should still be able to kick them out. It's your house.
See, now we've gone back to the house thing again, which is a completely different.
Or it's your property. Sorry, whatever. Coffee shop.
Which we're not saying that you don't do that, but you're failing to make the connection that I'm trying to illustrate is that Facebook has assumed ownership.
Yes, but again,
ownership of the public square,
hold
but
on.
that would require them to be a publisher. But they've done it under the guise of a platform. They've been given, they've taken possession of the platform as a platform, and then they have acted as a publisher.
Okay. Hold on. I'm not taking issue particularly with your assessment of Facebook. I pretty much agree completely. What I disagree with is your solution being that companies that operate in the United States should be treated like the government as far as the Constitution is concerned. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, because a coffee shop is a company, for example. Like, but I agree that Facebook has done bad things and they deserve to have all their profits from that removed. I completely agree. They've committed a bunch of fraud. They're acting on behalf of the government. I'd be 100% happy with them being regulated as if they were the government by the Constitution, because they are acting as the government. But if they were not allowed to do so, like if there was no reason for them to do so and they weren't doing it, and it still ended up being like this, like their product is so good that people want to be on it, but they're like, fuck conservatives, I don't want them on my servers. They own the servers. I'm fine with them kicking them off.
That's not saying there. I get what you're saying, but with that is one of the reasons why one of the reasons why Facebook does the things that it does, has the features that it has, and looks the way it does, is a very carefully crafted PSYOPs material. It's designed to work off the same mechanisms that function for addiction.
Sure, but just like we've said, like this entire time, it all boils down to fraud anyway. So I mean, I don't see the point in distinguishing between what kind of fraud. It's just fraud.
Okay, the reason I'm arguing this is because you say that you don't want the government to regulate private business under the guise of the Constitution, but you're perfectly happy for the government to regulate private businesses under the guise of legislation from Congress.
Because fraud, you mean?
You're using government regulation to regulate private business, but
yes,
you don't want the supreme document that regulates government to deal with entities that are as big as the government.
Yes, but one is a tort and the other is a regulatory document for government. There's a very different.
Explain to me the major glaring differences between an entity that is as big as the government, has more revenue than the government.
Wait. Allow me to rewind really quick.
Sure.
I would be 100% okay with neither happening. I'd be 100% okay with it being illegal for the government to regulate torts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
I agree. The smaller the government, the better. Your job is to stop us in getting invaded, make sure there are no potholes in the major roads, and fuck off. And you don't have to do them in that order.
No, fuck the roads. I'm fine with the roads being gone.
Right. So I get what you're saying in that respect.
Private roads are better. But
the issue is that it makes sense, but the problem is that you've now got to the point where how do you break this up? Like you need something of sufficient fucking size to be able to limit this exponential tyrannical growth. And the only thing that is capable of doing that isn't the actual monster of the government.
Well, yeah, but again, I say disallow them from regulating businesses, right? Fraud is committed by individuals, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, or limit them to only common law regulation of businesses.
So how do you regulate businesses from doing illegal shit? Like manipulating elections?
Like manipulating elections?
Yeah.
Well, the same way that you would if it was just an individual. Like that way.
How's that?
There should be no separate law for business.
So you're still using laws which are created by who?
Yes, the government.
So how does that work?
Well, I mean, even if you want to make a constitutional amendment, it's still the government. So I don't really get the distinction here.
The distinction is you didn't want the judicial system to deal with these massive corporations under constitutionality, but you're perfectly okay with those exact same courts dealing with the corporations under federal law.
Well, oh, sure, but that's the same as you saying that that would be the same as me saying to you, okay, you're okay with the government putting people in prison for murder, but not okay with the government putting people in prison for not allowing people to come to their house and say whatever they want, right?
Well, yeah, because those two crimes are absolutely parallel to one another. They are on the scale of criminal justice. Those two are. I don't see any difference between you infringing on my freedom of speech and you killing me. There's no difference there at all. That's massive sarcasm, just in case you were missing it.
Yeah, but I mean,
killing me. How is a capital crime of murder? Like, they're not the same. They're not the same argument. Like you're comparing apples to oranges between murder and freedom of speech.
Yes, but I'm not actually comparing murder to freedom of speech. I'm comparing murder to theft. That's the thing. The Constitution is a limiting document. It's not.
Exactly. You're limiting the ability of corporations to infringe on the civil liberties of people, because if they are free to do that, then they are open to government influence, where the government will offer them incentives to allow them to direct them to do things that the government's curtailed from doing.
Right, but the purpose of the document is to limit the people who are in charge temporarily of the things which are owned by everyone, right?
Such as the public square.
Sure,
The printing
The pro-
press. Is the printing press protected specifically under the Constitution?
No,
Right.
absolutely not.
Okay. Is the concept of the free press protected under the Constitution?
Yes.
So the
But what's the-
concept
what's the-
of the,
hold on, but what's-
the actual
what's-
printing of words, the
what's the-
dissemination
what's-
of information.
Yes, but if somebody that owns a printing press says, "No, I'm not going to print what you want me to," do you think the Constitution protected against that? No, it protected against the government.
It's not the same
telling
thing.
them
It prevents the
okay.
government. It prevents the government from curtailing the dissemination of information, utilizing a free press.
Sure, but the free
That's
press
what
itself,
So
the free press itself, okay, got to decide, like, the individual people who owned the printing presses at the time, which weren't very many people.
they could disseminate whatever they wanted, couldn't they?
Exactly, but they got to
As long
choose.
as long as it wasn't deliberate malicious misinformation, it wasn't actual lies designed to cause problems for their own entertainment. It wasn't. It was, the point was that it was, the government has no ability to regulate what the free press produces. So how is it any different to controlling and regulating the public square via your influence exerted on big techs?
Okay, because what you're proposing is that we apply the Constitution, the constitutional limitations, to the printing press owner. I'm
Right.
against that.
We're now conflating the owner with the, like, I don't really see Mark Zuckerberg as one man in a garage with a printing press. I
Yes,
see Meta as a private government.
No, I see them as a public government. But
You see, okay, they're a privately owned government.
I don't actually consider them privately owned at
How?
all. I think
They're owned by private shareholders. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not owned by the. They're not. It's not a communist asset that's owned by the people. It's
Yeah,
not
but-
fucking. It's not the BBC or fucking the National Health Service.
no, but
it's-
I think they get enough grants and how do you say it, like
Backhanders.
money laundered money from government officials
Yeah.
that basically they're partially publicly owned, or sorry, partially publicly owned, partially privately owned. But my point is that we're not talking about Facebook. We both agree about Facebook. What you're saying is that the solution is that a Facebook that hasn't done this yet be regulated in the same way. And I don't think that's
What do you mean it hasn't done it yet?
like Facebook before they became shit.
Okay, so no, Facebook has, so you and I, you specifically, know that 53 fucking genders, one of which being unicorn gender, is not a fucking thing. I
Okay.
actually agree that gender is a social construct because it was invented by a fucking socialist sociology fucking moron in the 50s who just happens to be a fucking Nambla pervert, right? So we know that that's made up. But if you turn around and say that Bruce Jenner is a fucking dude, you want a rose by any other name smells just as fucking horrible. If you want to call yourself Caitlin, I'll call you Caitlin. That's fine, but I'm going to call you he and him because that's what you are. Right? That is factually fucking accurate. You can call yourself what the fuck you like. You are not a fucking woman. The same as that fucking deranged maniac Levine that minces around in a fucking Lady Admiral's uniform. Right? That's a fucking dude. Yeah. You're not going to convince me anything. But if you say that, you're told you're wrong and you're kicked off that platform. Your statement is hidden behind a trigger warning or just straight deleted. So they are actively doing the whole 1984 2 + 2 is 5 or we'll keep shocking you.
Yeah, dude, I get it. Yeah, I completely agree. They're committing fraud. And I mean, this particular fraud is perhaps mass defamations as well. But again, we agree about that. What I'm saying is that if you are trying to force these platforms, like for example, if this Truth Social or whatever that Trump is making, if he opens it,
the Android app's gone live, by the way.
I heard that, but not. I'm still stuck with this piece of shit iPhone. But if it comes out and everyone flocks to it, right? And it's, you know, de facto the public square because it's an awesome platform, and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It like if they put cost on it, for example, like require you to pay to be there, that would be fine because they own it.
Yeah.
If 230 gets repealed, okay, if they get rid of 230, then I'm perfectly fine with well, I mean, I wouldn't like it because I wouldn't want to hang around in a place that does that. But if they decided to like start banning people for whatever speech, it would be fine because it's theirs, as long as they're not protected by 230.
Yeah. Right. But that's not going to happen, is it? They're not going to repeal 230.
I don't know about that.
And even if they do, I don't think it affects them, because all that 230 does is protect the new tech platforms like that are actually trying to do that, trying to be platforms. And this is why Zuckerberg's not bothered if they do repeal 230, because it actually plays into his hands. It then, the newer, fresher, younger dogs the hungrier dogs that are snapping at his heels suddenly get their legs cut from underneath them.
Well, and it's true too that 230 is not what's protecting Facebook, for example, from litigation against fraud. What's protecting Facebook from litigation from fraud is actually the government, like the federal government and state governments, mostly federal government. So good luck trying to get a case to not be dismissed.
Well, you could have said that about a lot of things. I mean, look at the you wouldn't think that the federal judge in the New York's in the New York cases and New Jersey cases would have.
Yeah.
You would expect them to also, just the same as New York and New Jersey have ignored the Bruen decision and doubled down on it. You would expect them to side with that, not actually strike them down. So I think there's an element where there's judges. I mean, look again, slight piece. Look at the Bannon decision. The judges very unusually allowed him to defer the sentence on appeal, because the judge is looking at it going, everyone involved in this is going to get fucked. I need to look as squeaky as clean. So he's backed off and given him, and deferred his sentence. So I think there's an element to be argued there that's a possibility, is that you're seeing these judges that are actually siding with the constitutional decisions because they know that there's ramifications, and they'd really like to be a judge still.
In Bannon's conviction, did he get a jury?
I didn't watch the trial. I just saw the press conference after the.
But that one was for the appeal, or like that was so that he could have an appeal. It was an appeal to the. Like they appealed the.
I think no, because I think his lawyer said before Bannon spoke that it was they were going to lodge an appeal against the decision, because it's. I think that was the post, because my understanding was that was the sentencing hearing, and then he's lodging an appeal.
Is that right?
I'm sure that's the link. Let me check, but I'm sure that's the link that I sent you, unless I sent you the wrong video.
Because I thought he was convicted like weeks ago, but I guess that could be sentencing then.
Yeah, because they don't. I mean, I touch wood, never been in that environment, but I'm of the understanding that it's.
But the thing is that I don't see a judge being like, also, I'm just going to defer your sentencing until your appeal's done. It seems like they must have given some ridiculous sentence and then the barred appeal.
The description says Steve Bannon speaks after prison sentence, and then he goes on to waffle about it. So he was given a custodial sentence, is my understanding, and then he's been allowed to appeal it, because it's also a white collar crime, isn't it? It's not, he's not.
Well, yeah, tell that to D'Souza.
Yeah, but the point being is, it's not, he's not a violent criminal. So, and it's also I think anyone that doesn't call this a fucking Soviet style fucking show trial is kidding themselves.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of funny. Like it's within, like when he did it was within 6 months of the guy in Biden's own cabinet doing it, right? The exact same thing, and then they're like, "Nah, we're not going to press charges."
Yeah, it's fine for Sniffy Joe to do it, but nobody else can. It's like one rule for thee and one for me. So I can't remember where we got to this fucking point, but yeah, just going off on a fucking piece on this one. Sorry, but I'm failing to articulate why I think this is a solution. Even if you only tie if you only tie private companies to the First Amendment, or even just tie what are defined as monopolies.
Okay, here. Let me. Okay, I think I've got the disagreement. So you keep calling them private companies, but you're wanting to apply the regulatory mechanism of public entities, the Constitution, to them.
Yes.
Which necessarily, I keep saying, necessarily makes them public entities.
Right. The reason being, they are called private companies, but they behave as though public entities.
Yes, but me, being not a communist, I think that companies being private is better than companies being public.
It is
obvious reasons.
It's only in the context that the limiting I'm proposing is only in the context that it prevents them from colluding with government agencies. It prevents them from even like directly or indirectly, like if they decide of their own free will, we're going to help manipulate an election. You shouldn't be doing that.
Well, yeah, but they could do that anyway. Like if you just put the First Amendment on them.
Yes, but it also it allows, like, the way they're doing it now allows them to operate in darkness. They can just black us out. They can kick us all off. They can shut us all up. We can't get our voices out. And in the same, look at how many people have turned around and said that, oh God, if I'd known the Hunter laptop thing was real, I'd never have voted for Joe. How is that not like that should be the smoking gun that makes that argument, is that they covered everything. They shut down everyone. They silenced everybody. They pushed everyone into darkness so that their lie could perpetuate long enough for it to be too late.
Yeah, but that's not what they did, though. They didn't silence everyone. They didn't shut everyone down. What they did was they lied to a significant portion of the public and said, we're not doing that. And then that significant portion of the public believed them, and then the people were not there.
So and at the same time, all these people they put on bans and they suspended
and then they reintroduced them after 12 months, and then these people were able to get that information out. They got to the people who it would have got to ahead of the election and had an effect stopping them from doing it.
Yeah, I get that.
They did do this. They lied, but then they covered their lie by purging people so that they didn't have a platform or a voice with which to say, hey, no, that fucker's lying.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I am perfectly fine with them banning anyone who mentions something that's inconvenient to their political opinion. Okay? The problem that I have is that they're lying about it. And they're doing it on behalf of the government. These two things.
What's the point in? So if I'm banning you because you want to share a laptop that fucks me over, and then because I don't want people to know about it, why the fuck would I admit to lying about it? Like, I understand what you're saying, but it makes no sense. That why would I ban you so that you can't say there's a laptop? And then me admit that I've banned you because I don't want you talking about a laptop. That shush, don't look for the laptop. Just shush. That makes no sense. It defeats the purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean exactly? I'm very confused now.
Yeah, but that's what my problem is with it.
But what I'm asking you is, why would they admit to lying about the existence of the laptop? Like, I agree with you. It's shitty that they're lying about it, but you say your problem is that they're lying about it.
No.
As if they're supposed to ban you, and then they're supposed to come out and say there's a laptop. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, banning, there was no point banning you. They might as well have just let you expose it.
No. What they're lying about. Okay, so I don't even think that like Facebook lied about the laptop at all. They just banned people who talked about it. Right?
Yeah.
And I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is that they were telling people, that they were telling all the boomers that are on Facebook, telling them that that they don't ban people for political speech when they totally fucking were. And so these boomers, the reason that they didn't know about the laptop is because they thought they were getting, their full news feed of information from their friends and associates or whatever, right? But that wasn't the case because they'd had a fraud committed upon them by Facebook, who lied to them and said, no, you're totally hearing from everyone that you want to hear about, regarding election stuff. And they base their opinions based on that. That's the fraud. Like Facebook specifically didn't
deliberately
say the laptop was fake, for example.
So denying its existence and then deliberately concealing it, that's not a fraud.
Well, Facebook didn't deny its existence. Twitter did.
But
Which is
concealing
more fraud,
concealing the existence of the thing by deleting people trying to draw attention to it, that's not lying about it.
No, I don't care about that. It's not Facebook's responsibility to disseminate information.
It is if it claims to be the public square on the platform.
That's true.
And if it's a publisher.
No. If it's a publisher, it's not required either.
No,
like
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You juxtapose the two. If it claims to be the public square that it claims to be, and a platform, then it is.
Yeah.
It's even if it's not overtly, but by curtailing the information that is allowed to be shown, you are actually doing that, and you are actually acting as a publisher. You are editing. It isn't editorial. You are editing what is allowed to be seen, rather than let it just be the stream of consciousness, mental fucking diarrhea that is Facebook. That is what comes out of people's heads on Facebook. Much like this stream, because I think I have mental diarrhea at this point.
Yeah. Basically, we agree. Facebook's a piece of shit. Facebook is asshole.
Don't trust Facebook.
Twitter is asshole.
Mhm.
YouTube
YouTube.
is wonderful. I love YouTube.
YouTube, you can goggle my balls. For legal clarification, that is not an invitation or an instruction. That's merely an insult.
Damn it. We should do this on your channel from now on.
Goddamn. Well, we got past the first 30 seconds without swearing. We're fine. Or did we?
No, it's 2 hours, and I think we're there. But that's that's for AdSense, right? But not for
Dude, I wouldn't worry about us getting sponsored.
community guidelines, which were fine.
Sponsored by Fuckhead and Fuckhead.
But none of it applies for salty wiki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, anyway, this was fun.
Yeah. Let's look it down the road because she's a dick. I didn't say she had a dick. I said she is a dick. Defamation. But yeah, oh god, I has anybody watched this, or is it just you and me?
You, me, BSP jumped on for a bit, and then but I didn't announce it anywhere. And
So there will be
I
for
haven't posted anything on my channel in like 2 months or maybe even more. Wow, might be like 3-4 months since I posted anything on here. So it's not surprising nobody's here. But I'll put it there. People can watch it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We're not successful till we get a mass flagging.
true. Watch us get dragged for talking shit for 2 hours.
Anyway, so we've
All
got
right.
a bunch more memes to rate in the near future, and more memes to acquire for rating.
Yes, I'm sure I have plenty, including the stack. The stack is always good. Yeah, I'll. When we can do this again, or just whenever time allows.
Yeah, I mean, 3 hours, man. Only 3 hours.
Yeah, that's a fucking long time. Jesus. I was set to go to bed at fucking an hour and 20. I was fucking tired then. Yeah. All right. Well, just let me know when you're free because your schedule's a bit more constricted than mine.
Yeah, yours is pretty consistent, right?
Yeah. Well, you know my times. So, and if not, I'll message you later.
Yeah, and if anybody ever does watch this video update, I will be doing some Minecrafty shit soon. So look forward to that. Woo!
Boomercraft episode. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, we should do that too. That would be fun.
Yeah. It's always good when I walk through a doorway and fall into some lava. I have no idea what I'm doing in that game.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
maybe rethink our purpose. Like we should come up with some sort of challenge or something to make it more interesting.
Yeah. I tell you what would be. I mean, I need to unscrew my. I need to update my PC slightly. Need some more RAM, but we should have a crack at space engineers.
At what?
Space engineers.
Okay.
It's like Lego, but you're just building like spaceships and stations and rovers and that kind of crap. It's kind of like Minecraft, but with way better graphics.
I am willing to try it, as long as it's very inexpensive.
It should be. I don't think it's. I think the Billy base game's not that.
Yeah.
Not that bad. But yeah, I'll send you a link to a video. You can tell me what you think. Oh, good. Sign me out. I can't remember what that is. Anyway.
Alrighty, bro.
All right, man. See you later.
Good night.
Talk to you. Bye.
Good night, viewers. Let me see if I have a video to play us out. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. What the heck is that? Got a 3-second video there. I don't trust it. Okay, so I believe if I go over here, I've got that. I got that. Yeah, why don't we just play this one? Let's see what it does. Is that your browser doesn't support? Okay, can't play that one. Video file. Wait, no. It's not this one? It doesn't work? Okay, fine. Let's see what we got. We've got... Nope, not that. Huh. I am very sorry for anyone who actually listens to this. Okay. You're listening to a boomer. At heart, not really in real life, but... let's do the... Wait, no, I should have an outro. Actually, don't I? Nope, but I do have an intro, so I guess I'll just play the intro. And that'll be...
I got it down.
Shooting at that under pressure. What must be what?
Show some respect.
Let's go, Brandon.
Huh.
Good night, everyone. Julia.
They're okay. I don't know how to break this to you, but they seem like they may be pleasure pigs, like they're being kept in office for a reason.
Genome from the future saying, yes, you're completely right. This was a stupid idea.